Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of Community to Cash. And I'm so excited to get started talking about this today because this is where it gets really real, right? Why is your community not converting? Now, this is going to touch on a lot of different things. Yesterday was really good because we talked about what community actually means, and we talked about the difference between Facebook and Skool. Now, Facebook is the OD community building platform where a lot of you have your Facebook groups already, or if you're thinking about building one, Facebook is where you would think to build one, right? Um, I'd love to know in the comments if you have a group, let me know what your group is all about. Let me know where you're building that group. And if you don't have one yet, were you thinking about building it on Facebook or were you thinking about building it somewhere else? But today we're going to talk about why your Facebook group or why your community isn't converting, right? Before we get started, I want to let you know a little bit about who I am. My name is Kristen Miller. I am a business coach for online coaches who want to grow their high ticket programs by building a warm list of buyers through low ticket offers. Now, my story is that I grew many Facebook groups over the years to grow my high ticket and for my low ticket buyers. Now, this is the secret, guys. This is the secret when we connect low ticket to high ticket is that there's community in between. There's connection in between, right? There's that bridge of low ticket to high ticket. And this is what's missing in a lot of low to high type of situations that you may have learned about or heard about before, right? Especially for online coaches, you need to have that bridge. You need to have that community. So you build that community as the bridge between your low ticket and your high ticket. Now, my story is that, again, I started many groups on Facebook. I'm definitely a big believer in community, as you can tell, and Facebook was the place to be. I was in a lot of Facebook groups, and um, I built a lot of Facebook groups, and I also was in a lot of Facebook groups, and I sold my high ticket inside a Facebook group. And so I love community, right? But I could see the downfall of Facebook coming a mile away, right? And by now it's already here. So my story is that when I switched over, I did take a little mini vacation inside Heartbeat before I reached Skool. So I've been on a couple different platforms for community, but when I reached Skool, I saw that it was built not just for community, but for sales, for the merger of all of it together. And it's so beautiful how it all comes together. So I built my Skool group, AI Stock Photo Studio, from 0 to 739 members in about 6 months. And now I have over $600 in monthly recurring revenue from that group. Right? So this is possible, and it's also possible very quickly. Skool has become the new Facebook, where not only are you building a community, but you're reaching a new audience because there are people on Skool who are looking for other communities to enter, right? To grow with. And that's what makes Skool even more special is that not only are you building a community there, but you are reaching a new audience there. There are people there waiting to join your community that you don't even know yet. So if you want to learn how to grow your Skool community, if you want to build it the right way, I encourage you to join the Sell on Skool Challenge, which is starting on June 1st. Only $33 for 5 days of live lessons with me on how to build your Skool group in the way that is built to sell. So the link will be in the description so that you can join that. It starts on June 1st. We go through really deep, it's going to be workshop style of building your community from scratch. This is still for you if you already have a community and you need to make sure that you're building it the right way, built to sell from the very beginning, and that you're not just building another free Facebook group. So let's talk about why your community isn't converting right now, right? There are, I think I have 4 things that I want to talk to you guys about on why your community is not converting right now. And number one is the biggest reason why it's not built to sell is that Facebook groups are not built with a specific purpose in mind. Okay. And one thing that I learned on Skool, from the very beginning is that specificity, being very specific with the purpose of your group, is so important. And that builds your community even faster. So Facebook groups are built on vague, high level, like large ideas, right? Like women entrepreneurs, grow your online business. It's another example, scale your business. If you think about the way that Facebook groups are built, have been built, is that they try to appeal to the masses, right? Because Facebook used to show groups to people, and you could see yourself in that group. It's very important that you see yourself there, right? So the idea was to make it very large, a very vague idea. But what happens when you have a large, vague idea as the purpose of your group is that you get vague people joining. And when they join, they don't really know why they're there, right? If it's just for women entrepreneurs, like that's a lot of people who have a lot of different problems, who want to talk about a lot of different things, right? There's no specific purpose to that group. So once they join, they don't really know why they're there. And if they don't know why they're there, they're not going to engage and they're not going to stick around, right? Or if they do stick around, they're never going to come back. So a lot of people can stay as a follower of a group and like never ever go to that group or never see any of the posts in that group. And that's why we have dead groups, is because people join it and then they forget entirely that it even exists. And they're a follower and they've never been there before, right? So Facebook leads with these large, vague ideas, but community really thrives on specific, right? Having a specific purpose. And you'll see actually that the most successful Facebook groups right now are the ones that are short-term and specific. So you'll see people creating a specific Facebook group for a challenge or a masterclass or a paid program, right? Because it's a very specific thing that people want to join. They know what it is, they know what it's there for, and they will join it and be active, right? So the only reason that Facebook groups are still going right now are the ones that are small and specific and have an actual purpose. People know why they're there, right? The large groups that you may see are going to be thriving right now on spammers and bots, which is really unfortunate, but there's so many bots on Facebook right now, and there's no real way to block them from coming into your Facebook group, so that your group, even if it grows, it becomes just a bot fest, just a little group of bots talking to each other and spammers trying to reach your audience, right? So the more specific you can be, the easier it's going to be to grow your group and create a really engaging community, right? People want to be there for a specific reason. If you have a vague group, vague people are going to join them. And when you go to sell something specific to that big, vague group, selling is not easy because most of the people doesn't apply to them, right? So that's the issue there. As an online coach, you want to reach people who have a specific problem that you can help them with, right? So it's not a numbers game, right? We don't want huge groups. We want small, specific groups with people that we can actually help. And it also makes it a lot easier for people to share when the purpose is obvious and specific, right? So instead of one of your group members saying, you should really join this group, it's about selling on Skool, right? That's specific, there's a purpose. Instead of saying you should really join this group, it's for women entrepreneurs. Which one sounds better, right? Which one sounds like it's actually going to help that person if that's what they want to do, right? So it's really important that when you are starting your group, that you start it with a very specific mind. Don't start it with the thought in mind is that you are building a new Facebook group, right? We need to kind of shift our thinking here. We're going to do better. We are not going to create another Facebook group with a bunch of spammers and scammers and bots with no specific purpose that people will join and never visit. We are going to think strategically. We are going to be very specific on what the purpose of the group is, how you're going to help people inside that group. And then we're going to build and layer on from there. It's really, really important. Okay, number two, why your Facebook group or why your community is not converting is reminders. This is really important. You know, everyone has a lot of things going on in their day. They need a reason to show up that matters to them. These reasons need to be clear and obvious, and you need to remind them about it, okay? Because people have the best of intentions and still may forget, right? I am so forgetful, guys. If it's not on my calendar, it does not exist to me. And I will forget things that I talk to my husband about in that morning. I'll forget during the day, right? So we need to make sure that number one, there are reasons why people want to come to the group, like continuous reasons, not just you go live every week, right? What is in it for them? What is the reason that they want to show up? So you have to always think what's in it for them, not just you, what's in it for them. The mistake most community builders make is assuming people will just show up, right? And they won't. Not because they don't care, like I said, but because life is loud and your community is competing with everything else in the world. It's competing with all the notifications from their kids' school. It's competing with all their business goals that they have right now, right? It's competing with a lot of things. And this is one of the biggest practical aspects of Skool versus Facebook, in that notifications actually go out, right? So with Facebook, you may get notified 3 days later that a post was available, right? Or that you posted something in your group. They may get notified 3 days later. With Skool, the notification is immediate and it goes to a specific notification inbox. And if they have their emails turned on, it will go to their email. If they have the app, it will show up on their app. And so these notifications will actually reach them in a timely manner, okay? Back in the day, one of the good things about Facebook, building community over there, is that the post would end up in the news feed. That doesn't happen anymore. Very, very rarely do group posts end up in the news feed, or if they do, like I said, it's like 3 days later. It's not timely, right? So like I said, one of the biggest reasons that I love Skool is that the notification process is immediate, right? They also have emails that go out that have huge open rates. Check day one for our discussion there. But even with good notifications, right, you need a reason for people to show up that matters to them. So this is one thing we need to keep in mind when we're building on Skool. You're building with a specific purpose. You're building with a specific reason, and you're giving them reasons to show up that matter to them. Okay. So what problem are you solving for them, and how are you going to help them achieve that result? Always lead with what's in it for them. Okay. Again, going into the next thing, number 3 of why your Facebook group isn't converting, goes along with this, like what's in it for them is the value, right? It's really important that you're providing value even in a free group. Now, again, what I love about Skool, that should be like the title of this, what I love about Skool, is that it's easy to provide value and it's easy to ascend value, right? So even if you are building a free group, you can build to sell by including tiers where someone can pay you for more access, more information, more content, more whatever you're including in the membership. And you can also ascend them into high ticket offers, your group coaching, your one-on-one, that could all be there too, right? So giving them value is really important and not holding back, right? A lot of people, a lot of coaches are worried about giving too much, that they won't buy your high ticket if you give too much. And I'm here to tell you guys that's a myth, right? It is an absolute myth that you could give too much because we are no longer in the information age. We are in the implementation age, okay? Information is not valuable in itself. In itself, you could go find anything you want on YouTube, on ChatGPT, on Claude, on Google. Information is out there. It's actually information overload. The thing now that people are looking for is not more information, it's clarity. What steps do they need to take? What's working right now? And how do they get from point A to point B? And implementation. So clarity and implementation is actually what people need from you, right? So you could give them all kinds of information. They don't need that. They don't want that, right? They're not looking for information. They're looking for clarity, right? If you search something on YouTube, there's millions of videos and they come up from like 2022, 2024. I was searching for something yesterday. Video came up from, like I said, 2022, 2024. I think the most recent video for what I was looking for was 2024. And I was like, I have no idea if this is even still accurate because that was 2 years ago and so much changes in 2 years. So there's a lot of information out there, but we don't know what to trust. We don't know if the information is accurate. And also, if you're trying to do something with many steps, you don't know what steps to take. A lot of times, the information you're going to find out there is step 4, step 8, step 2. And you have to decide what order to do them in, right? So as a coach, your job is to provide clarity, provide direction, and not just information. So we need to think about that when we're giving value to our pre-customers, our customers, our clients. Providing value is never going to go wrong, okay? Help them take action. Help them also see that information that's available everywhere in a new light, right? How can you help them see things in a new perspective, in a new light? Because your potential clients are not just sitting there wishing they had more information, right? They have more information than they know what to do with. They need someone who's going to help them see through, cut through all the noise, cut through all the distractions, all the wrong information out there, and actually see the truth, right? So giving away your best content does not stop people from buying from you. It actually makes them more likely to. And this is why I like to lead with low ticket, because low ticket is the clarity and direction and the step by step. Okay? It's putting the steps into the information. So your low ticket offers is not more information, right? It is that clarity and direction for the solution that they actually want. It makes them trust you, right? If they know that they come into this group and you're going to be able to help them with a couple of things, they know that they can trust you when it comes to the big thing, So the coaches who hold back the best stuff are the ones who are actually struggling. The coaches that give also receive. Now, the biggest practical reason why your community isn't converting right now is that it's not built to sell, right? It's not built with selling in mind. It's built with community in mind, or it's built with just gathering people, okay? So it's important to gather people, but once you have people gathered, then the connection starts. Connection is not automatic. It's not an accident. It's something that you have to facilitate, right? So people come into your group, then you have to facilitate the connection. Now, like on Facebook, there's no native way to display what you sell. Whereas on Skool, there's a courses area. You can create courses. You can put your PDF guides. You can put your master classes. You can put everything in there to sell, either as a low ticket membership altogether, or one by one, or both. There's so many options, so that people can see exactly what you have to offer right there the minute they come into your community. They don't have to wait for your next launch. They don't have to wait for your next post of you selling it. And that's another thing, is that most people aren't selling as often as they should be inside their Facebook group. So it's not converting because you're really not selling, right? So by having it built to sell, you will be launching, you will be selling, but it's also there for people to find, because people will look around. Like if you welcome someone into your house for a party, they're going to look around, right? So it's important to have it there so that if they see it, they see it, they like it, they buy it, right? So Skool flips that entirely. It's built to sell. It's built with selling in mind. It's not hidden. It's not waiting for you to do the work. Members can browse and click and buy whenever they want without leaving. They can join a membership. They can leave a membership. You don't have to set that up. It's so easy. And then the very last reason why your community is not converting is that, like I said, you're gathering people, but you're not connecting with them. Okay. That is the leadership role. You're not just building a group for people to join and hang out. You actually, like as the host, you have to go and say hi to everyone. You have to make that connection, right? You have to do the posting first. In order to get other people posting, you have to take the first step. You have to lead the way. You also need to connect with them. And a great way to connect is in a one-to-many situation where you're creating posts, you're going live, you're creating videos, but also one-to-one because there is DMs inside Skool. Now, there are DMs on Facebook, Instagram, most other places. But if you build a Facebook group and you try to DM people, like this is a big strategy of building a community is that you can DM people, right? However, Facebook is making it harder and harder because all of those spammers and bots, right? It's not anything that you are doing wrong. It's that Facebook is trying to control the spam and they're not doing a great job, right? And so that trickles downhill so that you can no longer just DM people if you're not a friend with them. Facebook will block you if you try to communicate with too many people. All those different things. I know you guys have experienced it, right? It's not as easy as it was before to DM people on Facebook because of Facebook trying to cut down on the spam and the bots. And then it trickles down to the people doing actual good, legit work, right? But on Skool, their DMs are open. You can communicate with people and they get notified when you DM them. And it's so easy and it's so flowy. And you can also have it send automatic DMs. No extra anything you need to add is part of the platform that you can send automatic DMs when someone joins your Skool group. So it really is built for selling, it's built for connection, and it's built for conversions. So if you guys are interested in building your own Skool group, built the right way, built to sell, built to ascend people into your high ticket offers, the Sell on Skool Challenge starts on June 1st. It's only $33 for 5 days of training with me, workshop style, so that we can actually either fix your Skool group if you have one started or build it from scratch. So I'm super excited to see how quickly you guys can grow your Skool group. Like I said, I grew mine over 700 people in 6 months. It's very, very easy to grow a Skool group by inviting your current audience, running low ticket ads to the Skool group. And also, like I said, people on Skool are looking for groups to join, right? They are looking for groups to join. So basically Skool is sending you traffic as well. So highly encourage you to join the Sell on Skool Challenge. Like I said, join by June 1st. We start June 1st. The link will be in the description and I will see you guys there.